away.
Well, Brad, fantastic response to what happened in Queensland last week.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good performance. Good even spread. Great response from our leaders and terrific win for the footy club. I'm really pleased for all our players and fans and everyone involved in the club. Players put on a great performance tonight.
What pleased you most? Was it Hawthorn came at you hard physically and you stood up?
Yeah, I think that you look at our midfielders. They're big, strong guys, most of them, and they enjoy that sort of contest. And even in last week's loss, it's obviously a pretty big week for the club on a number of fronts. But the first quarter.
Let's go. Yeah, fire away.
Well, Brad, fantastic response to what happened in Queensland last week.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good performance. Good even spread. Great response from our leaders and terrific win for the footy club. I'm really pleased for all our players and fans and everyone involved in the club. Players put on a great performance tonight.
What pleased you most? Was it Hawthorn came at you hard physically and you stood up?
Yeah, I think that you look at our midfielders. They're big, strong guys, most of them, and they enjoy that sort of contest. And even in last week's loss, it's obviously a pretty big week for the club on a number of fronts. But the first quarter last week was terrific, and we let a golden opportunity slip. And tonight we didn't do that. We kept persisting and kept doing what I think makes us a pretty reasonable side, and we just, we got there in the end. So really pleasing.
Brad, you owned the footy. You had nearly 100 more touches than they did tonight. Was that a pre-planned thing that you wanted to do through the game?
A little bit. But Hawthorn are such good users of the footy that we knew we weren't going to have the game all on our terms for very long. It was going to be momentum shifts, which we've struggled to handle in the past, and so at times here we did want to try and get the game back on our terms when we'd lost the momentum, and get it back on our terms as quick as we could. I thought we did that pretty well.
Strong article in the press today. Is it something that you had pinned around the
No.
old-fashioned way or not?
No. That's for the. It's really, look, it's great because in the footy world, particularly in Melbourne, that sort of stuff is why we get paid to do what we love. So I don't begrudge any journalist to write their opinion, or I don't take any of it personally. Maybe I should, but I don't. And we certainly don't talk to the players about it. If that sort of stuff is going to motivate them, then, they're in it for the wrong reason. So, all I ask is that the things you report to the fans, because the fans read the articles, treating it as gospel. Stuff like 10th in contested possession, that's just factually wrong. We're 10th in total number of contested possessions, but if you take a cursory look at statistics, anyone knows that you don't look at contested possession in isolation. You look at contested possession difference against your opposition, and in that we're 5th. The Gold Coast are 1st in contested possession, but they're 12th against their direct opposition. So there's a lot of things like that I reckon the fans at home read it and think, oh, that's true. So journalists should hold each other to account a bit more, I reckon.
We've said he didn't read the article. Do you believe that at all, Brad?
No, I don't believe it, because I don't think he gets too caught up in it, but I'm sure he would have been aware of it, because in this day and age, with social media, I knew about it at 2 a.m, so people don't take or miss an opportunity to tell you. But honestly, you can't, if you get too caught up in that sort of stuff, you take your eye off the ball.
Certainly can't be faulted for your contested possession against your opposition tonight. I mean, the numbers were reasonably even, but your blokes cracking it was such a feature of the contest, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a big focus during the week, and we've had consecutive 6-day breaks with the travel to Brisbane as well. So, the guys, there was no excuse from any of our guys around. Your preparation is as good as it can be. We're ready to play a hard, contested game against the best side in the competition, and we've got to be up for the fight.
Did you see Lake on Petrie incident? Did you think it was unnecessary? The length of the hold on him?
I've been told about it since. I didn't go down and talk to him, if that's what you referring to. But
So it was a key moment in the game, and after that, the 50 late gave away. You dominated the next 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't see that incident as being the spark that got us going there. I saw the scuffle. I was most concerned that we had the footy, that we didn't give away a silly free kick in response to anything that happened. But that's what, I didn't really. I was looking at the footy and making sure that our guys weren't involved in it.
What did get you going, Brad? Because it was evenly points. It was going goal for goal at the start of that third quarter. Hawthorn hit front by 4 points. Anything can happen, and all of 10 minutes and 35 up, and the game was busted wide open.
Yeah, that was the challenge that was issued in Hawthorn, as you would expect of the reigning premier and probably the best side in the comp at the moment, to issue the challenge and come back at you. And we were just imploring our guys to keep playing our way and not go back into your shell and try and defend and just try and hold on. We wanted to try and when we got punched, we wanted to counter punch, and that. We were able to turn it around after they hit the front and get some momentum going again.
And what about Drew's game, Brad? I mean, obviously the 5 goals, but those 2 tackles before half-time, I mentioned that leadership is just priceless.
Yeah, look, I mean, we don't talk about too many things that we talk about behind closed doors. We don't make them public too often, but I did have a chat to Drew about his leadership last week, and because he sets an unbelievable example for our players, but I wanted him to stamp his authority and take responsibility. And as per last week, should he have tried to pass the ball against Brisbane in the last couple of minutes, or should he kick the goal? I think he should have kicked the goal. And people have accused some of our players of being selfish in that regard, but I think that's what leadership is. When the responsibility is yours and you've got to stand up in the moment, you stand up. And I thought Drew Petrie stood up for us tonight.
In the big picture of your season, how much confidence can you take from beating the top 4 teams so far?
I don't think we're in a position as a team, because all the inconsistency stuff, I'm not going to argue against that. That's fact, isn't it? You can look at it from the point of view of we've maintained a record of not being beaten twice in a row this year, but I don't think we want to hang our hat on that. That's to be expected of a proud club. We still face the challenge of ups and downs, and we've beaten the top 4 sides, but we're not a top 4 side. So we'll draw a little bit of confidence out of it, but no more than the other good wins this year. We've got to focus on being a good team all the time.
How pleased were you for Aaron Black tonight getting his hands on the ball? Probably could have kicked 5, missed a few early. And how close was he to potentially not playing the last few weeks?
Well, look, I think it's pretty simple for Blackie. If we'd had Tarrant, Curry, Dorr playing better footy, some other guys pushing up, he would have been under pressure. But he's not silly. He knew that. But I do have a philosophy of encouraging and helping. There's enough critics out there to criticise our players. I don't need to add to the queue. What I need to do is identify the things that I can help him with and try and make him a better player, and then we work extremely hard to try and get that done. So this is not about threats and you play well and you'll lose your spot, because I'm yet to see a player come out and dominate after being called a weak dog. And that's what people want you to do. But that's not coaching in my view.
Seemed to throw Ben Jacobs a bit of a job tonight. How did you view his game?
Yeah, good. I think he's been craving an opportunity, and even last week we thought he came on and gave us a lift. So I thought he took his opportunity tonight.
Sam Wright on Luke Bruce did another great job.
Yeah, he's the next challenge for Sam Wright is to play that way regardless of the stature of his opponent. And it's been a hard lesson for Sam, because I think this is his 5th game for the year. So he's been left out of the side a lot. He's been dropped, regularly. And this was a real challenge for him to step up. Now the next challenge is, can he do it consistently? And he's one of the players who reflects our season a little bit.
What were you doing at 2 a.m? Just looking over tapes, or sending you a message?
Mate, if you want to chat to me, I'm always awake at 2 a.m. So
before a game.
you haven't slept much for the last 6 months. So
Are you confident, Brad, or more confident that you can build on the momentum you get tonight, say, as opposed to Freo, the Port wins, Swans as well?
I'm more confident in the momentum.
Yeah, that you can build on this win, that you're not going to go back into that, I suppose, inconsistency?
No, I'm not confident, and that's because you don't take anything for granted, and you've got to build on it, more than just one really good win. And the history tells us this season that it would be folly to be confident after one good win because we haven't backed it up. So we'll just keep working extremely hard. I think there's a hell of a lot of upside for the North Melbourne Football Club. We've got a lot of players who are not available at the moment who will come back in the second half of the year, but they'll have to fight for their spot. And we're a bit on the bones of our backside a little bit at the moment with availability, but that'll get better from this point.
Thanks, Phil.